folks, I'm Natalia, the CEO and founder of Life Startup. In this video, I will share with you the checklist of things you need to consider if you're going location independent. This video is for you if you're thinking of going location independent, you already made that decision and you just need the steps on what to do exactly. This video is also for you if you're just interested in this lifestyle, you're intrigued, and you're just kind of curious what are some of the things you might need if you decide to actually do that. So I will split this video by the timeline. We'll start with a year before you go location independent. So what are the 4 things you need to do before going location independent a year in advance? Number 1, you need to decide what you're going to do to make money, to fund yourself as your location independent. Now you have a number of choices here. You can either leave off your investments, maybe you will have certain investment interests, or you've already made your fortune and wealth and you are in a position where you don't have to work. That's great, congratulations. In that case, you might still need to consider what are some of the things you'll be doing as you're going location independent, because just traveling might bore you quite quickly. The second option you have is you can become a freelancer or a contractor. That means that you are your independent professional, you're finding your gigs as you go. And number 3 is you can still work for your existing employer and go remote and negotiate the remote option. There are a lot of employers that are now, especially thanks to COVID, considering that option, and I think that option will come more and more and more and more, especially if you're in this kind of position where you are a valued employee and they don't want to lose you, then they might consider an arrangement where you can go remote. And last but not least is you can become your own location independent business founder. There are a lot of the things that you can do online these days and you have plenty of options. This option is a little bit harder than all of the other options, but it's the best because you get to do it on your terms. And I will talk about this in some of my upcoming videos, so stay tuned. So number 1 is decide how you will make money on the road. Number 2, sort out your things financially. So make sure you're in a great position financially before you go. You don't have any loose ends. You have sorted out all of your investments. You know exactly kind of how much money you've got. You've budgeted well, and at least for some time, you can go without worrying too much about finances. That's another separate topic. We won't go deep into it, but just make sure that your finances are in order and you're financially educated. Now, the third thing is start downsizing on your belongings. It's a lot easier to go location independent if you are a minimalist and if you don't have that much stuff to carry around or store. If you have too much stuff, if you have things that you need to worry about, then it's going to be a lot harder for you to go location independent. Because you will need to pay for that storage, you will need to manage that. So we'll start downsizing. You might need to review some of the things that you own, give away a few things. If you have that guitar that's been in the corner for 3 years, you've never touched it, maybe it's time to part ways with that. And if you ever decide to become a guitar player again, you can always buy a new one. And number 4, get excited and list all of the locations you want to visit. And while it's the time of global pandemic, it doesn't mean that you can't travel. Of course, you have to be a lot more flexible with how you travel, but you still can do that. So do list down all of the places you want to visit. So that's 4 things you want to do 12 months in advance. It's decide how you're going to make money on the road, sort out your finances, downsize on your belongings, and list all of the locations you want to visit as you go location independent. Excellent. Now 6 months before you go location independent, well, you might want to give a notice to your landlord, or if you're not renting and you own a place, you might want to decide what you're going to do with your place, rent it out or sell it or something else. So do that. Now, give away some of your remaining stuff and stuff that you don't need. Just keep doing that and maybe find a storage option for your belongings. While it could be easier to just place it somewhere in a storage space, it could be a costly option, especially if you decide to stay location independent for several years. Another thing to consider is you might not want to have all of the things you need with you, but you might need them, in certain different places on your journey. So it's easier if you have easy access to your stuff, or you have a dedicated person that can go and have access to my stuff. In my case, it's my sister, because my stuff are in her basement. I can always ask her to either send me something, or I can send her some of the stuff that I don't need anymore. That works out pretty well. Like, for example, when I was climbing all of the volcanoes, I needed like this huge big boots with me. Of course, I don't want to carry it around for the rest of my journey, so I just packed them up and I sent them to my sister, so I don't need to worry about it. So that's a pretty good option. Then you need to decide on your first location. Do it pretty much in advance, because first time you do it is going to be, you want to be prepared. So do decide on your first location, do research. There are plenty of Facebook groups out there that have expats groups or digital nomads group. There is a great group called Digital Nomads Around the World. If you are sort of struggling to decide on your first location, you might as well go there and check and ask people to give you some recommendations, and start getting excited about your move. And then do book a place where you will stay. You don't need to do it 6 months in advance, but do research a couple of months in advance. I recommend starting with Airbnbs. That's the safest, the easiest option. You might end up paying a little bit more than when you're in the local market, but if you're staying for 2-3 months, there aren't that many other options that will easily allow you to book something where you can have everything that you need, including bed linens, towels, utensils, and everything else. So do find a place, do research good areas, and book your place in advance. Now, 1 month in advance. So if you are quitting your job, that's the time to give notice to your employer. Do a farewell party with your friends. Say goodbye to them. Of course, you're not saying goodbye forever, but it's a good idea to somehow signify your move and inform your people. Hug them one last time before you go on your adventures. Don't forget to cancel any of your gym memberships, any of your utilities, or any of your local subscriptions, because you won't need them. So sort of tie any of your loose ends, notify your bank, and that's the time to pack. It's time to pack your small bag, and I do recommend packing a small bag. I read a lot of blogs before going location independent, and I ended up still kind of going with too much stuff. Every blog I read said you will pack too much stuff. Don't do it. And I still did it. And then I realized how important it is to go really, really light. So I'm now traveling the world with a very small 36-liter backpack. It literally looks just a little bit bigger than any, day pack. But what it does, it forces you to never buy stuff. You think not twice, but 10 times before you buy anything, and you only buy things if you really need it. And so what it also does, it allows you to create space in your mind. You don't need to worry about, all these belongings and all the logistics and what to wear. So there is an extra benefit of that lightness. And we'll talk about minimalism in one of my other videos. So do check back onto that. So all right, congratulations. You're now location independent. You've arrived to your new location. I'll give you 4 more things you need to do as you enter your new lifestyle. So number 1, learn what you like and what you don't like, and make tweaks to your lifestyle. So don't sort of stick to your ideas, and don't worry too much if things don't work out. Treat it as an experiment, collect data about the things that work and the things that don't work, and tweak it. If, for example, you notice that you want to live in a place that's a bit more quiet, then the next Airbnb you book will be in a different area. So do learn from that. Then if you want to stay productive, I do recommend joining a co-working space, because it's quite hard, especially in the beginning, especially if you're not a very disciplined person. It's quite hard to kind of get yourself working. So a co-working space might be a really nice transition for you into kind of an independent lifestyle and independent working. And finally, make friends everywhere you go. So do connect with other people. This will make your experience so much nicer. You can do that through Facebook, like I've said, there are so many different groups. And also just interact with locals and ask questions. And, instead of finding things on your Google map, of course you can do everything online, but do ask locals, do ask your neighbor, give me some recommendations. You'll be surprised how friendly people are. And you'll be surprised how much more enjoyable your experience will be. So I hope this was useful. I hope you've enjoyed all of the tips. If you want to have the actual checklist for this, you can grab it with the link below this video and just download it for you to have handy with all of the things that I've listed. And if you ever want to discuss your particular situation, we have free consults and we can help you answer any of the questions you might have and give you some ideas for how we can support you if you need any help. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give us a like and share it with anyone else who you think might be interested in going location independent. I'll see you next time.